everybody. Happy New Year. I've got a new book for you in 2019. It's called Major Scale Patterns for Jazz Improvisation. It's 12 different scale patterns, and I wrote them all in C, and that way you can play them all in C and then transpose them to the other 11 keys and do it either by sight, or you could do it by ear, or I've written another book that has it in all 12 keys. So either way, the one that is in key of C is free. So check it out on my website at jefflewistrumpet.com. What I just played for you was the very first exercise. And the reason, there's a couple of reasons why I played in that pattern. One is when I read the Mark Levine Jazz Theory book, which I think is the best jazz theory book out there. He suggests practicing it in this pattern because what you're going to end up doing is not only playing the scale from the root position. So you start on the root, and then it goes up to the 9 and comes back down, and then you end up ascending from the 3rd and the 5th and the 7th, which is C, E, G, and B. Well, those notes make up the C major chord. So chord is, right? C, E, G, B. So if you're playing your scale, now I'm on the 3rd. Now I'm on the 5. Now I'm on the 7th. And then when I descend, I do it backwards. Then I'm on C. So that's why I practice this scale pattern that way, because I learned it from the Mark Levine Jazz Theory book. And it makes sense, right? Because the chord tones are what you want to gravitate towards anyway when you're improvising, so to speak. So the first scale pattern I have written in 2 octaves. Now if the C is a little bit too high for you, you can start on the minor 6 or the relative minor, which is low A. I've also written it in low A, and that would sound like this. Let's slow it down here. The playback I'm using is the iReal Pro playback, and I'm going to post the major scale workout underneath this video so that if you have the iReal Pro, you can just download this workout. So it's okay. On that one, we end up on the relative minor, or an A minor, which is the relative minor of C major. And then it ends up in the same pattern anyway. So you're going to do the A, the C, the E, and the G, right? If you find that, you know, the high B and C is too high, because you don't want to kill yourself practicing the scales, because we still have 11 other keys to go. I also have a major scale play along using Band in a Box that I've also posted on YouTube. If you want to check that one out, you can also play this pattern with that. But unfortunately, it's just in one tempo, so you either need to slow it down or speed it up, depending on your ability. So that's why I like to use the iReal Pro, because you can just slide the metronome in either direction. So a couple different ways you can practice this. You can practice them all tongue with like a jazz tongue, like a da 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 da. So if you're going to do it all tongue, or if you're playing really fast, you're going to just be tonguing some of those and slurring the majority of them. Like the first example I played was really fast. Right, so a lot of that is just slurred with occasionally tonguing. Or you can slur every other note, which is a good way to practice it as well. So the three different ways: tonguing each note, slurring every other note, or slurring them all, depending on the speed, right? And we're all trying to play faster, so I would suggest doing it in all different articulations and trying to articulate as fast as you can. So play along with the iReal Pro, play along with Band in a Box, or simply use a metronome. Those are all really good suggestions. So, in my opinion. So what you want to do too is you want to always increase the speed as you get comfortable in a certain tempo and always try to play faster. So what are these going to help? These are going to help your speed, your finger dexterity, and your timing. And it's also going to help with your vocabulary. And I don't mean so much that you're going to be playing patterns in your improvisation, but you're going to be more familiar with all the keys because we're not always playing in the key of C, right? Sometimes you have to play in D flat or F sharp, especially if you're playing with guitar players. You're going to be playing as a trumpet player in F sharp or B or A, and sometimes those fingerings can be kind of funky. But if you practice this pattern, this one pattern, it'll get you started in playing some of the more uncomfortable keys. Be sure to go to my website at jefflewistrumpet.com and you can download this free book. I also have the book in all 12 keys. And if you subscribe to my email list, you're going to get 11 scales for jazz improvisation. So scales, scales, scales this year, I guess. But it's a really good way to start getting familiar with the jazz vocabulary and the jazz scales. Hey guys, I just wanted to show you how I use my iReal Pro app. So here's a screenshot of my iPhone, and I'm not really sure how to do this if you have an Android, but here's the iPhone. I click on the app opens up. In the search, I'm going to just type in major, and you can see the major 7 workout, the third one down. I'm going to post this in the description on the video so that you can have your own version of this. If you already own the app, you can just click on the description on the YouTube channel and it should open up on your phone, on your app, hopefully. And I click on that and it looks like this. So there's all your major scales, and I have these transposed for trumpet. So this is for B flat trumpet. Now here's what you're going to want to do. Since each key only lasts 8 measures total, you see I have the repeats there. What you want to do is put your finger on the first, let's say we're going to play in the key of D. So I'm pressing on the key of D major, and then I slide my finger across on the top and let go. And you see those little arrows there? What you're going to do, oops, I'm going to do it again. You click on the arrows and it will just repeat the key of D. And you can do that for any section. Let's see. I don't know if you're going to hear it or not. Okay, that's weird. It's not playing. But anyway, you would hear it. All right, even though you can't hear it. So you're going to see that it's scrolling through just the key of D. So I'm going to tap on the screen again and then stop it down at the bottom. So like I can, if I want to do 2 keys, I can scroll through those 8 measures and do it that way as well. All right, so look down at the bottom of the screen and you can see that you can also change the tempo and you can change the configuration of the rhythm section instruments. But I usually I leave them on. I like to use the Rhodes piano sound at the very top, the electric bass sound, and sometimes I'll turn off the drums and just play with piano bass or just bass. Okay, so that's how you use that. Now, the other app I like to use is the Drum Genius. You can see the green alien head Martian guy there. You tap on that, and this is the Drum Genius. So if you're practicing scales, if you see down at the bottom favorites, I'm just going to click on that. I've already downloaded a bunch of rhythms. So what they are just drum tracks. So I will play along with these as well. I think you get 3 play alongs for free, and it's relatively inexpensive to download more rhythms as well.